everybody, and welcome back to our Facebook Live, the first one for 2020. Today I'm here with Alison, and today we're going to be talking about Microbiz Matters, which was an event that we had recently. But first, Alison, do you want to introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Antony Chesworth. I head up the innovation and talent here at EKM. I also have had my own businesses over the years as an online shop owner, marketing businesses, that sort of thing. I've also got a property company, so I've got different things going on, but one of my roles here is looking after, obviously, innovation, talent, and making sure that we're doing as much as we can to help our customers and give them as much information as they need to be successful.
Yeah, and that's one of the key things about Microbiz Matters Day. The day was full of talks and seminars, and we even had market stalls in our canteen from business owners from around the UK, some of them that you may have heard of. So, for instance, Camilla from BBC's Apprentice and Kirsty from Dragon's Den, they appeared on the stage right here. But we know that some customers and other people weren't able to attend, which is why we've kind of decided to put on this Facebook Live to kind of have a quick chat about all the key learnings about the day. But if you do have any questions while we're having a chat, if you want to just pop them in the comments below and we'll try and get to them nearer the end of the live. But first, we started the day off with a welcome talk from Antony Chesworth, the CEO of EKM. And we've heard that many and many times, but every time I hear it, it inspires me, because it's quite an inspirational talk, isn't it, if you've ever seen it. So for you, which part of Antony's talk makes the biggest impact?
I think for me it's that anybody can do it. All it takes is persistence and perseverance, and to have that real passion. I think whoever you are as a business owner, you really need to have the passion for your business to make sure it keeps going, that it drives things on, that it really, and you don't get that other than when you see and speak to other business owners. And it's a real, honestly, if you can see another business owner talking passionately about what they love to do, it automatically inspires you. And I think there's so much that we can learn from each other. That I think the main takeaway for me from Antony's talk is that anybody can do it. You don't have to be special. There's nothing that separates us from anybody else. It's just that sheer determination, drive and persistence to get out there and to do it.
Yeah, and I think that was probably a key theme throughout the day, wasn't it? Listening
to
all the different people from all walks of life. None of them particularly like special people or born into, businesses, things like that. They're people that grafted and worked hard. So yeah, anybody can do it.
Exactly.
Speaking about passions, one of our values here at EKM is evolve. So our values are RISE, R-I-S-E, and E is for evolve, and that's something that we really value here at EKM. And it was also a key point throughout the day. So we know from experience that businesses can become stagnated, websites don't evolve and they don't change with the times and things like that. So if you were to advise somebody to focus on one part of their business to start evolving, what would that be?
It would try and actually buy your product like a customer would. Go through the whole process. So if you've got a website and you've actually got that product on there, do check out and properly test that you can get that product. Test out the whole journey from what the experience is like when you add that product to the cart, when you're putting in your payment details. Actually go through and physically make a payment, send that product out, actually look at how the packaging and how it arrives, and experience that whole customer journey. I think that is one thing that all businesses should do, is to experience what it's like as a customer to enjoy and have their products.
Yeah, and also maybe get your friends and your family to do that test as well. We recently read a book here at Book Club called That Will Never Work, and it's based off of Netflix, the Netflix CEO and how Netflix started. And they talk about testing their products in the early days, doing exactly that, actually purchasing from their own website and sending it through the post to see what the user journey was like. And it's such an important part of business. If you don't evolve and change with the times and improve things constantly, you'll get left behind.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So after Antony spoke, our main speaker on the stage was Camilla Ainsworth, who founded MYLK+. And she was most known for being the youngest ever finalist on The Apprentice a few years ago. And one main takeaway from her talk was to always be the customer for what you're selling, which I thought was quite a key piece of advice. So what sort of advice would you give to people who are looking for products to sell but don't actually have a product to sell that they can be a customer for?
I think whenever you're starting a business, you need to be interested in the product that you are going to be selling. I think I echo actually what Camilla says. I think if you think you can go onto Obolo or whatever and just drop ship something and expect it to work, it's not. You know, we're living in a world where everything's easily accessible. You can get next day delivery. There's a wealth of information. You've got to really understand who the customer is and what they want. And yeah, you might have a similar product to somebody else, but you can market it in a way that it would appeal to a different type of customer. So I think if you're a business and you're wanting to set something up and you need a product to find, I think find something you're passionate about, number one. Go to a trade show that's related to that industry, look at the products, think about, it's really simple to do research, it doesn't take much. You could stick it on your own Instagram for advising people what the product is, get them to, are you interested? I've only got 10 of these, do you want one? And then get people to actually send you the money, and you'll really find out then if it's actually going to work. You can do it really simply, really low cost, or of course you can set up a website, minimal cost, and actually get on and test it.
Yeah,
so,
I know she mentioned in an interview that she did with Antony, which will be coming soon, that at some point it's not all about the money, is it? So you might lose that passion if money is the thing driving you, and I think that's a key thing for entrepreneurs, especially like Antony. He was filling a gap in the market, but it was something that he was passionate about, wasn't it? Yeah,
I think as well you've got to remember that if you are a micro business owner, you are going to have the same struggles that somebody else has, and most of the time it's easy. You can pick up the phone and get the answers to what you need. You might find out you need to package it in a particular way. You might not know how to do that, but a quick look on Google or just in a phone directory, it'd quickly find you somebody that'd be able to answer those questions.
Yeah, and most people are willing to help you out and give you advice. I know Antony and yourself, Alison, you offer quite a lot of business advice to micro businesses and startups as well. So one of our other speakers, Paul White, founded the Modern Milkman out of watching David Attenborough's Blue Planet, as he wanted to create sort of like a sustainable milk product. And with sustainability becoming such an important factor in consumer choices and consumer behaviours, how can existing businesses work to ensure they're as sustainable as possible, and why should they?
I think if it's part of your strategy to be eco-conscious and to look after the environment, then I think that these days is pretty easy to do. There's all different certified organisations that you can be part of. You can donate a portion of your sales to a charity or a cause that you believe in. I think that's really great for businesses actually, if that's part of their overall what they do. And I think the majority of businesses actually do a lot of sustainability, giving back, all that sort of thing as part of a wider picture that they don't necessarily tell people about. So I think with Paul, his was very much, he'd seen the David Attenborough programme, he'd seen all the plastic, and it just brought it home to him that he needed to do something about that. I think as well, when a programme has that much impact, it does really get to, as an entrepreneur and somebody that really wants to do some good, you actually see that and you think, I can do something about that. And bringing back like glass bottles, as we would remember being 80s children, that you milkman would come, he'd pick up the bottle, your mum and dad would wash it and put it back outside. That's a very different sort of experience to the plastic that we're using now, where it's, although the majority of it can be recycled, but I think when you see a hard-hitting programme like that and it's there, I think for Paul that was like such a big driver in making sure that things are sustainable. And I think businesses can do that as a matter of course when they choose and when they want to.
Yeah, they do have the power, don't they? Especially
Yeah.
large corporations. And even if you are a smaller business, it can be something that sets you aside from your competitors as well.
Yeah.
Something that consumers are caring about a bit more these days. So running your own business and being your own boss, you wear a lot of hats, and Paul from Modern Milkman did say, I used to do a lot of stuff because I couldn't say no to it, but I then realised that there are a lot of people out there can do things better than I can. How do you think small and micro business owners can benefit from outsourcing certain tasks?
I think it's one of those things as a business owner, you want to do everything because you feel like you can do it the best. I'm actually quite privileged because I've mentored Paul for about a year and a half now, so I've seen quite a lot of business owners, and you quite often will give them advice just as a matter of course. It's never structured or planned, but what you do find is that you hold on to tasks that could be automated, so there's normally a system there that will do it for you. You don't realise the value in your own people because you're so used to having to wear so many hats that it's just easier to get it done. But as soon as you can get the processes in place so that somebody else can follow the instructions and get on with it, it actually relieves you time to actually work on the business rather than in the business. And I think that's what a lot of business owners should remember, is that you employ people to be a team, and you've got to let them be a team. You've got to give them that responsibility, and they might need a bit of a nudge and a point in the right direction, but if you can get them to excel and you to direct them, then you're onto a winner. And learning to say no. Like, it's easy for someone to push a job back onto me to be done when it's actually harder for me to say, actually no, you need to do that job. That's not my place to do it. And I think Paul has recognised that having people better than him in his organisation has done an amazing thing for him. So, and I think that's something that we excel at here at EKM, is that everyone who's part of this team is amazing, and they do an amazing job, and we let them do an amazing job too. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So just while we're sort of like halfway through our questions, for anybody that's just joined us or recently joined us, we're talking all about Microbiz Matters Day, which was an event that we held earlier on in January this year, and it was all about celebrating and recognising small businesses in the UK. And we had loads of speakers and market stalls and seminars from businesses and business owners offering their advice and guidance on how to grow their micro business. So if you do have any questions for Alison or myself, just pop them in the comments and we'll get to them near the end of the live. But for now, speaking of partners, we did have a few of our EKM partners come to the event as well to speak, such as Sales Geek and fulfilmentcrowd. So why do you think it's important for our customers, especially our customers, to utilise partner integrations?
I think you don't know what's out there. I think again, when you're in it and you're doing it, you're so busy, but there's so many partners. Like fulfilmentcrowd, for example, you can send all your stock to them, they'll package it, they can get better deals than you can on the postage. It's all automated, it can be sent out. Again, with some of the t-shirt embroiderers and that sort of thing, if you give them again, it's giving people that direction and trusting them as partners to do that. You can give them the labels, or put the labels in for you, so it actually looks amazing. You can, once you've narrowed down exactly what you want and you can find a partner that gives you the right results, you'll see amazing results. So it's just, I think the world's your oyster really with the partner sort of integrations at EKM, and that they're seamless. They all work seamlessly with your online shop. So
it's definitely something to look at if you haven't utilised it already. I know a lot of people do benefit from reaching out, even to partners, to manage your social media accounts. You know, you're a busy shop owner, you might not have time, and there are companies out there that can do that sort of thing for you. So one of the most popular talks of the day was Richard Slater, who is sort of like a master in PR and has his fingers in many pies, including Limitless PR and Lancashire Business Review magazine. So he said that the most common problem people have when trying to gain traction on social media when it comes to PR and coverage and organic content was people over-rely on platforms but are not pushing out story-driven content to help drive that engagement. So how do you think small businesses can take advantage of storytelling in order to build up brand awareness and PR?
I think every business has got a story to tell. Everyone. You've just got to find it. And I think it's easy to think, yes, it's all about social media, and you know, social media is great, but there is still a place for your traditional media. Your news outlets still want to know stories, they still want to hear from you, they still want to know what's going on in the community, they still want to know what businesses are doing. And actually, most of the time, it's just a case of actually putting it in front of them. Like, so many people think it's easy to take a picture on Instagram rather than write a press release and send it to the right person at the press desk. But it's also about making sure that whenever you're developing content, whether that's for PR, social media, it's relevant. It's not just going to go into the ether and no one's going to pay any attention to it. It's like every single post, every single press release that you send has to be curated. It has to be of value to your customers or to the wider community. Otherwise, no one is going to pick it up. And I think once you get that right, you make sure that it's got the who, what, why, when, how in there, and you do that on every bit of marketing. I think you've really, as a micro business and as a small business, you've really got to take your marketing seriously and give it the same attention it deserves as your products and your website and all the other areas that things go into.
Yeah, wonderful. So just to kind of wrap up a little bit, with lots of inspirational speakers talking about a range of topics, what do you think was the absolute main one piece of advice that customers and viewers should take away from the day?
I think it's to connect with actually real people. I think if that's one thing that you should do, it's to make sure that you make real connections. You actually care about your products, you care about your customers, you care about other people, and you care about other people's businesses. Micro Biz Matters Day was all about action recognition and learning for micro business owners, but it also brought everyone together. It is so lonely sometimes as a business owner on your own, and when you get everyone together, honestly, it is just a bomb, and everyone is so supportive. So that would be my one piece of advice, is to connect with real people and make real connections that are of value.
Yeah, I know that was echoed out on the day as well by a lot of people asking questions and stating that throughout the talks as well. So just to circle back round to yourself, you also champion small and micro businesses in our local area, such as Etsy Lancashire, etc. So what would be the one piece of advice that you would give to somebody starting their own business based off of all your life experience?
All my life experience, it's just to keep going. I think when it gets tough, that's the bit that's the make or break. I think you've just got to keep going, and you've got to give it that same passion on day 1, day 2, day 1500. I don't think you cannot let it go. That moment that you think, oh, it's not good, I'm not getting there. You can't, because your customers will notice. Everyone around you will notice. You have to keep going. You have to keep persevering. You have to keep giving, and you've just got to keep that passion alive. And be around other people who can help you with that as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for all your advice. We're going to open up the floor to any questions now. So
we'll have a quick look on Facebook to see what questions have come in. So we've got a few comments going on. So we're just going through them. Does Paul use EKM for his site? It looks excellent. I think Paul uses a different.
I think he does. Yeah.
Different version. I think he's using a. I'm not 100%
I don't think
sure.
Paul uses EKM.
But he is looking actually at using EKM. So
we do have a lot of other well-known customers that use EKM. So Gazegill Organics, they were featured on BBC Countryfile last year, and they're one of the biggest farmers in our local area in the northwest. So
what other ones is there? Who else have we got? Tina's commented saying the average micro business owner earns 24,000 per annum, but research shows that they are the happiest. Well, I think that's true. I think running your own business is so exciting, so much fun, and that's fab.
I think that's something that we also echo here. One of our motto is do what you love. And obviously as a business owner, you have to do what you love. And obviously when you do and it's successful, you're going to be happy, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that proves that.
We've got another question here. So what's the difference between a small business and a micro business? So a micro business statistically is classed as 0 to 9 employees, and 96% of UK businesses are classed as micro businesses, which I think is a phenomenal statistic, and they do not get the attention that they deserve. You'd think they're all Googles and Amazons of the world, when actually 96% of businesses in the UK are micro businesses.
Yeah,
so,
and they also have such a huge impact on our economy as well, because they're such, like, it's just, you know, it takes up so much of our economy versus the bigger businesses being 96%. So they're a real driver in pushing our economy. And that also links into like shopping small and supporting your like local businesses as well.
See if there's any other comments. Oh, also we haven't actually mentioned, we did actually have quite a bit of support on the day.
We did,
from our local college. So another part of my role here at EKM is to establish relationships outside of the business. So I work with a lot of the universities, colleges, and thankfully Blackburn College, the students who are on their events course came in and helped out for the day, and they were amazing. So thank you very much to all the students at Blackburn College.
And I'd just like to take the time to thank all the speakers that came for the day. It was a wonderful day, and I think people got so much out of it. There will be some exclusive interviews with some of the speakers released on our YouTube soon, so keep an eye out for that. And I just wanted to thank all the staff, all the team here at EKM, and all the attendees for the day. But I believe, is there another question?
There's another one that's come through. So somebody was asking, what's the next event that's on at EKM?
Ooh, okay. So on the 12th of February, so in a few weeks' time, we're going to have Sean Wayne here, and he's going to be talking about leading like a coach. So how you can teach basically how to learn how to lead your team like you would a rugby coach. And it's going to be a really fantastic event, and we've got quite a lot of people sort of bought their tickets already. So if you do want a ticket, head over to ekmevents.com. I believe the URL's behind me, and you can purchase your tickets there.
What date is that on? Is it the 12th of February? And we've got 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I think it's 10 till 12, and then
I believe like
2 till 4 or something. Yeah. So they're the 2 sessions, but I have to say Sean's absolutely amazing. I am not a rugby fan, and Sean, for me, we go to see a lot of talkers. It's brilliant. Lancaster University hosts some amazing speakers from the Northwest. Yeah. And Sean, from the talks that we have seen, was one of the best. Like I say, and me and Antony was like going up in the car, I was like, oh, do you really want to go? Because we're not really rugby people. And he was like, nah, not too far. And when we got there, honestly, Sean gave so much advice on how he turned people around, got them to work as teams, and what he'd done to do it. And I'm really excited that we're having him here at EKM to share that with other business owners in this area. So I think that would be a really, really great event.
Yeah,
so if you can, make sure you get yourself down, get to ekmevents.com and get a ticket for Sean Wayne.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a really good event. So if there aren't any more questions,
what else have we got? Oh, we've got a thank you for inspiring the team. That's just some thank yous that are on there. I'm just checking. Has anybody else got any other questions for us before we head off for the night?
If you do have any questions after the event, if you pop them in the comments on the video that will be published shortly, we'll get around to answering them in due course. But again, thank you very much for your time, Alison.
Yeah, and I also want to say thank you very much to everyone who did actually come to Microbiz Matters, and to all the amazing speakers, Tina, Tony, Camilla, Paul. There was just Adam Corbley, who did an absolutely amazing job. Everyone came together for that day to make sure that micro businesses got the best out of it. And honestly, if we've got a 3-minute video that's just gone out today, which we'll post up later, there's more content from the day being shared on our Facebook channels, YouTube channels over the next few weeks. So you'll all be able to pick up some of this key takeaways from each of the speakers that we had. And if there's, I hope that you'll all get down to another event that we're hosting very soon. So thank you very much.
Definitely. No, thank you all for watching. And if you do have any questions, again, please put them in the comments below. Apart from that, thank you very much for your time, Alison.
Thank you.
And thank you all for attending and watching. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.